Owning a Mercedes-Benz gives someone some class, but a GLE Coupe easily stands out of the crowd. Welcome to 0 to 60 Motoring. Once again, my name is Bill, and in today's episode, we are going to analyze this 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. Let's start by throwing off the basics first. So what exactly is this GLE Coupe? Now, BMW and Mercedes have been always on each other's throats for quite some time. When BMW launched the X6 back in time, Mercedes gave some response years later and they launched this GLE Coupe. Actually, for every BMW, there is a Mercedes competitor. For example, the C-Class competes with the 3 Series, the E-Class competes with the 5 Series, the S-Class competes with the 7 Series, the X5 SUV competes with the GLE. So the GLE Coupe, I could say it's somewhat a response to the BMW X6. So when you're looking at this product, it is actually carved out from the normal SUV, which actually traditionally used to be called the ML class, but later Mercedes thought that it's better using a GLE name tag because the M was a little bit confusing actually, because it's somewhat related to the BMW M series. So the GLE Coupe is actually, let me say, it's somewhat like an SUV, but the roof, the sloping rear roof, basically gives it that distinctive look. So it shares most of its mechanical components with the SUV sibling, but the rear design is what actually makes it stand out of the crowd. So this car is meant for those people who want the GLE SUV, but want something that is a little bit stylish, especially on the rear side. Basically, this car is for those people who want an elevated sitting position, but they still want some distinctive look, and perhaps they don't want to join the SUV crowd. So the GLE Coupe is actually a little bit long and wider than the SUV sibling, but on the face they'll be pretty similar. From a distance, you cannot tell from the face whether it is a coupe or the SUV. Up front, you have this massive Mercedes this star logo here. You have this logo here, which is mounted on the bonnet. You have this massive grille here with chrome finishes, of course, to give it some distinctive look. It also comes with these daytime running lamps, which are actually very bright. They are called, I can see here, LED intelligent light system. You also have these chrome finishes on this side with these fake air vents, of course, to give it somewhat an aggressive face. So this car will actually stand out of the crowd whenever it's parked, especially when you're looking at the face. Now, coming to the side profile of this coupe, you realize that it comes with these massive 22-inch alloy wheels, of course, with some low profile rubber. Of course, it also comes with these red brake calipers here, which actually stand out of the crowd because the red and black, they easily contrast pretty well to give this car some pretty good look. So when you're looking at this side profile of this GLE Coupe, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, because you have this sloping roof to the rear side. Of course, that is what is going to give this car some distinctive look. You have these side steps, of course, to step on them, especially when you're getting into the car, especially for short people. So when I'm looking at the side profile, you also have these the 22-inch wheels on the back side are actually somewhat wider than the ones on the front, because these ones are actually 315 while the front ones are 285. On the other side of this GLE Coupe, you have these tail lights, which are actually very beautiful, and they are going to give this car some good look. You also have these fake exhaust pipes down here, because the real exhaust is actually below these fake vents here. On the tailgate, you have this Mercedes emblem, and then you have this Formatic badging here. Of course, I'll be talking about that one. Let me give you an interior tour of these 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. How does it look like? The interior of this GLE Coupe actually looks upscale and well put together. It is actually something that is going to put a smile on your face if you want something that is appealing, because everything inside here actually screams quality and top notch manufacturing. It is actually, let me say, a high quality, a premium product. Now, for example, you have this big panoramic sunroof up here, which also lights up this cabin and makes it actually more lively, especially when you are doing your long travels. It makes the cabin so lit. When you're looking at the sitting position in this car, it's actually very good. You will be having a very good visibility of the road ahead of you. Of course, this is an SUV. You have that elevated sitting position. The seats for this car are actually bucket seats, which hold you in position, and they are actually memories. They have memory settings. Of course, the controls are on the door, so you can actually adjust the seat to the position you want. And then good thing with this car is that you can actually have 3 settings. Now, when you're looking at the sound system of this car, it is actually a Harman Kardon sound system, which is actually one of the best sound systems you'll ever find outside there. Now, away from that, let's talk something about this steering wheel. This is actually a flat bottomed steering wheel, of course, which I should give you some sportish vibes. You have paddle shifters on the rear side. Of course, I'll be talking about the transmission when I'll be talking about the gearbox and the engine flavors. The gear lever for this car is actually found on this side. It's not on this center console. Now, on this center console, you have different driving modes. You have individual mode, you have sports, and comfort driving mode. There are a gazillion of buttons over here, of course, for different functionalities, including the climate control settings. So generally, when storage wise, you have 2 cup holders here and a 12-volt charging port here. So when I'm looking at the interior execution of this car, it's something that is going to put a smile on your face if you are that person who wants something that is quality, because the gauges here actually scream top-notch quality. The features here, everything actually inside here, you can see that the designers actually put their concentration whenever they were designing this product. Even for the co-driver position here, the seat actually also has memory settings for 3 people. So that when I'm looking at the execution of this car, it is actually easily a 5-star rating. And now that you've known the styling of this GLE Coupe, let's talk something about the engine options. What is under the hood? Now, the 2016 GLE Coupe actually comes with let me say 3 engine options. This is the base engine. It is a 3-liter turbocharged diesel V6, which actually delivers 250 brake horsepower and a healthy 620 Newton meters of torque. Now, that power is channeled to all the 4 wheels of this car via a 9-speed automatic gearbox. Actually, Mercedes will call this a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive system as 4-matic all-wheel drive system. This 3000cc turbo diesel V6 is the same engine you're going to find in the GLE SUV sibling, with a 620 Newton meters of torque and 250 horsepower. This GLE Coupe, which actually weighs more than 2 tons, should be able to smash 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. That is the performance benchmark for acceleration in 7.5 seconds. Of course, that is actually pretty quick even for an SUV weighing this size, but if you want to go faster, the second engine option is actually a 3-liter biturbo petrol. So that 3-liter biturbo petrol actually makes the north of 400 horsepower, and it actually smashes 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 5.8 seconds. But now there are those people who want a GLE Coupe, but they want a performance version of the GLE. Those people will actually go for the GLE 63 AMG. That GLE 63 actually utilizes a 5.5 liter twin turbo petrol V8. That one actually makes the north of 550 brake horsepower, and it is actually a performance version. It is something that is very quick, because that car can actually manage 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in less than 4.5 seconds. So for the 2016 GLE Coupe, you have 3 engine options: 3-liter turbo diesel V6, 3-liter biturbo petrol V6 also, and then the top of the range is a 5.5-liter in the GLE 63. That is the performance version. Talked about the engine flavors. You want to know the capability of this GLE Coupe. Now, when you are comparing this car versus something like the BMW X6, which is the direct competitor of this car, of course, this one should be more comfortable and actually more stylish. That is when you're looking at technology. But when it comes to the driving dynamics, the BMW X6 is actually ahead of this car when it comes to performance. But still, not many people are going to find that difference. Now, another thing perhaps you may want to know, this car comes with an all-wheel drive called the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. That may actually be something that people will be considering, especially when they hear the all-wheel drive. Perhaps you may be asking about the off-road capabilities of this car. Now, I don't think there is a sensible buyer who will be purchasing a GLE Coupe to take it off-road, regardless whether it has a 4-wheel drive system or the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. The reasons are pretty simple. When you're looking at the wheels of this car, they're actually big wheels, but they have a low profile rubber, which means it's not suitable for off-roading. And actually, when you're looking even at the styling of this car, it's not something that any sensible buyer will be taking off-road, because it's not aggressive as a Land Cruiser or even as its a SUV sibling, and it's better kept on the tarmac, or it's better driven on tarmac or parked at shopping malls, because I don't think you'll be going off-road with this car in an entourage that has Land Cruisers or Land Rovers. Now, people will be purchasing these GLE Coupe. Most probably they will not be looking at things like fuel economy or running cost, but it's something that is worth a mention. Last time when I reviewed a GLE 63, that is the AMG performance version, which has a 5.5-liter V8, I said it averages like 5 kilometers per liter. Now, the people will be purchasing these 350D. Of course, most probably they may not be minding about fuel economy, but it's worth mentioning that this GLE, this 3-liter V6 can actually give you 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. Of course, to me that sounds actually like impressive fuel figures for someone who may be wanting fuel economy in this car, but still they want something that is, let me say, performance oriented. Perhaps you're also interested in the running cost of this GLE Coupe. Now, when you're looking at the price tag of this product, which is around 12 million shillings, because it's a premium product, and you're looking at the engineering here, this is not a car that is gonna be repaired by a shade tree mechanic or someone who has a spanner or a toolbox under a tree. When this thing breaks down, perhaps you need to have a flatbed on speedy dial. That is how you are going to rescue it. It's not something that is gonna be repaired by any Tom and Dick outside there. It is something that you'll have to book an appointment and repair it in a high-end garage with a sophisticated equipment, because you cannot do try and error with a 12 million product. But then when I'm looking at this car versus the BMW X6, the Mercedes-Benz actually has all the, let me say, it has a higher reliability index. I guess that is why someone will not only be paying for this badge ahead of the BMW X6, but they will also be paying for that reliability reputation. The Diesel E actually has a better reliability than what you'll be getting in the 30D, 40D or 50D in the BMW X6. Those will be going for the petrol flavor, that is the 3-liter biturbo V6 or the GLE 63. Of course, they already know that the running costs for those cars are actually on the roof, especially when you're looking at fuel economy. But maintenance wise, these things are actually on the same level. Away from the impressive interior styling of this coupe, I also find it pretty accommodative, especially for this front seat. You actually have, let me say, a good amount of knee room. Of course, the headroom is also pretty good, but then with the sunroof here, tall passengers may not find it that good. But with plenty of adjustments with this seat, you may not struggle that much with this headroom. How about the second row seats? The seats here are actually also pretty comfortable, and people actually seated at this back may not struggle whatsoever when it comes to long distance travel. Because this is a coupe, the roof actually slopes to the rear side. That's why you'll be seeing that my headroom may be a little bit limited, but it's not a big deal. Let's talk something about the boot space of this GLE coupe. When you're looking at this car, you already know the sloping roof has already entered into the boot space, and that's why it's going to be less practical than the SUV styling. It's gonna swallow your bag and any kind of luggage without any problem. So it's while it's a coupe, it's still a practical car because the boot space here is also generous, though it's not as good as what the SUV will give you. The GLE coupe is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, especially when you're looking at the pricing element of this car and even the styling. It is an expensive product because the price tag is in the north of 12 million shillings. Of course, you can get the base models at around 10 million shillings. Of course, people will be purchasing this car already know that it's less spacious, especially when you're looking at the trunk and the rear seats compared to the SUV sibling. But this thing is a head turner, it's a neck breaker, and it's going to give you all the attention wherever this thing will be parked. So this is actually a high-end product, and most probably people will be purchasing this car. They'll not be purchasing it as the only car. Perhaps they have the SUVs, they have pickups, and this is something that they utilize once in a while when they want to showcase some luxury and, let me say, some class. So this is actually, let me see, this car is a preserve for very few people in the society. When you're looking at the price tag, when you're looking at the running cost, and even fuel economy, even if it's a diesel, it's still not cheap to run. Now those who will be going for the petrol ones, of course they know how it looks like when it comes to the overall cost of the overall running cost. So this is a car that is going to stand out wherever you go, wherever it's parked, and even the comfort in this car is actually unrivaled because some versions actually come with an air suspension. We normally call that airmatic or a pneumatic air suspension system, which actually gives you the comfort of the ability of dropping or rising that suspension, of course, for better comfort. So I think that is all you need to know about this 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. In case you have any other question regarding this car or its performance version, I've actually reviewed the SUV version of this one, the GLE 63. That is the V8 variant. You can actually check its detailed review on the channel. So in case of any question about this car, the pricing element, the reliability, perhaps how it stacks up against the competition, of course their main rival is the BMW X6, feel free to drop a message on 026 Motoring, or you can actually ring us. Bye guys, I'll see you on the next one.